Some of Chrysler's most daring and innovative creations were never sold to the public. Built between the 1950s and 2010, these fully functional concept cars showcase futuristic designs, bold engineering, and ambitious ideas that never made it past the prototype stage. In this hour-long episode, we will explore 35 rare Chrysler-built cars, from radical turbine sedans to sleek Italian-bodied coupes, that were ready for the road but vanished into history before reaching showrooms. Number 35. 1955 DeSoto Adventurer II. The 1955 DeSoto Adventurer II was a dramatic dual-cowl sports tourer concept designed by Ghia. Commissioned by Chrysler and pinned with Italian flair, this one-off show car sat on DeSoto's Imperial S19 chassis and was much larger than the original Adventurer, essentially a two-seat grand tourer with an ultra-long hood. Beneath its sculpted fastback body lay DeSoto's potent 276 cubic inch red Ram Hemi V8, hooked to Chrysler's two-speed PowerFlight push-button automatic transmission. The Adventurer II's sleek profile, no front bumper, a low-slung stance, and built-in rear luggage lockers captured the 1950s rocket-age vibe of extended hoods and sweeping contours. One of the Adventurer II's most unusual features was its retractable rear window. A transparent plastic panel in the fastback roof slid down into the trunk, instantly converting the coupe into an open-air roadster without the wind buffeting of a true convertible. This innovative sliding backlight provided a draft-free open area, giving the advantages of a convertible with none of its inconveniences. Inside, the concept's appointments were pure show car excess. Art Deco leather seats, extensive chrome trim, and custom-fitted luggage stowed behind the cockpit. Every detail underscored that the Adventurer II was built as a glamorous grand tourer statement rather than a run-of-the-mill production car. After debuting in the US, the Adventurer II went on an international tour. It was first unveiled at Chrysler's Chelsea Proving Grounds in June 1954 and then appeared at major European auto shows in Turin and Brussels. The car's exotic blend of American power and Italian style caught the eye of King Mohammed V of Morocco, who acquired the one-off at the Moroccan Auto Salon in 1955. The Adventurer II eventually passed into private hands and was meticulously restored, but by then it had long since fulfilled its role as a jaw-dropping dream car rather than a factory-built cruiser. As automotive historians note, the Adventurer II exemplified Chrysler's vision for futuristic motoring and remains one of the most elegant American show cars of its era. Number 34. 1954 DeSoto Adventurer I. Before the American dream fully collided with jet-age fantasy, there was the 1954 DeSoto Adventurer, first a car that captured the imagination of a nation hungry for spectacle and innovation. Designed by Chrysler's Advanced Styling Group and hand-built by Carrozzeria Ghia in Italy, the Adventurer won's far more than just a pretty face. It was a fiberglass-bodied statement of intent. Created during a time when DeSoto was fighting to stay relevant within the Chrysler hierarchy, the Adventurer first served as a concept of possibility, not practicality. Its design was low, lean, and pointedly European, borrowing more from Ferrari and Alfa Romeo than anything on American roads at the time. The two-seat fastback featured minimal overhangs, a panoramic windshield, and chrome accents that suggested movement even while parked. Under the hood sat a Firedome Hemi V8 engine pushing 170 horsepower, a potent figure for its time, and a nod to DeSoto's technical ambitions. The car's use of fiberglass bodywork, a rarity for Chrysler in those days, reflected a growing industry obsession with lightweight materials and advanced molding techniques. Although the Adventurer I was never intended for mass production, it caused a stir on the auto show circuit. Crowds were stunned by its clean lines and modern proportions, while critics lauded its futuristic vision and styling restraint. The name Adventurer would go on to grace DeSoto's top-of-the-line production models beginning in 1956, but the original concept remained a singular creation. It was a tease, a glimpse at what could be, if only bold ideas weren't so quickly tamed by market realities. In the end, the Adventurer first stood as a poignant metaphor for DeSoto itself, filled with promise, beautifully executed, but ultimately destined to disappear. Its fiberglass skin and Italian tailoring were too exotic for mass production and too refined for the brand's dwindling budget. Yet for those who saw it in person, it was unforgettable, a fleeting marvel of style and substance that never got its chance to shine on the open road. Number 33. 2006 Chrysler Imperial. In a bold yet baffling move, Chrysler unveiled the 2006 Imperial concept at the North American International Auto Show, intending to revive a nameplate long associated with American opulence. At first glance, the Imperial was clearly meant to be Chrysler's answer to the likes of Rolls-Royce and Bentley, a homegrown flagship drenched in chrome, prestige, and sheer bulk. But as the public would soon see, the execution left more questions than answers. Built on the same platform as the Chrysler 300C, the Imperial was stretched to absurd proportions, 16 inches longer and 6 inches taller, with a wheelbase that seemed to span zip codes. It wore massive 22-inch wheels and an upright grille that looked like it had been yanked off a mausoleum. Suicide doors at the rear gave it a touch of retro luxury, while high-mounted, jewel-like headlights evoked early 20th century grandeur. The interior was bathed in leather, suede, and soft ambient lighting designed more like a hotel lobby than a driver's cabin. Despite its extravagant appearance, the concept was powered by a relatively familiar 5.7-liter Hemi V8, a respectable engine, but hardly exotic. The real issue, however, wasn't under the hood. It was the polarizing design that baffled critics and audiences alike. Many compared its bloated proportions and awkward stance to a caricature of luxury rather than the real thing. The car seemed out of step with the sleek, tech-forward direction the luxury segment was heading. The 2006 Imperial was never greenlit for production. Chrysler's financial troubles and the car's poor reception sealed its fate before it left the concept stage. Instead of ushering in a new era of American luxury, the Imperial became a curious footnote, a reminder that nostalgia and ambition don't always translate into success. It remains a cautionary tale. You can resurrect a name, but not always its legacy. Number 32. 1995 Eagle Jazz. By the mid-1990s, the Eagle brand, once created by Chrysler to bridge the gap between performance and import appeal, was fading fast. In a desperate attempt to inject new life into the marque, Chrysler rolled out the 1995 Eagle Jazz concept, a radical, bubbly coupe that looked like it rolled straight out of a cartoon. The Jazz was intended to appeal to young urban drivers who craved fun, tech-forward design, and a distinct identity. But what it delivered instead was an awkward fusion of ideas that never truly harmonized. The Jazz was built on a front-wheel drive platform and styled with oversized fenders, a cab-forward layout, and a windshield so steeply raked it nearly blended into the roofline. Its bubbly body shape, with massive round headlamps and a pill-shaped rear, gave off a toy-like quality that felt more like a design school experiment than a viable production car. Inside, things got even stranger. The Jazz featured a minimalist interior with a full-width digital dash, joystick-style gear selector, and translucent neon-accented panels that changed colors depending on the mood lighting. Chrysler touted it as a personal coupe for the next generation, but it lacked the refinement, coherence, and practicality to make that vision believable. The engine was a modest inline-four paired with an automatic transmission, nothing groundbreaking in terms of performance. And while the Eagle Jazz turned heads at auto shows, most reactions were of bewilderment rather than admiration. Chrysler never seriously considered putting the car into production, and by 1998, the Eagle brand itself was quietly euthanized. The Jazz disappeared just as quickly, leaving behind only a few press photos and confused memories. Today, the 1995 Eagle Jazz stands as one of the most bizarre and least remembered concept cars Chrysler ever built. It was meant to spark excitement and innovation, but instead became a strange footnote in a brand's slow-motion collapse. A car called Jazz that never really found its rhythm. Number 31. 1994 Eagle Vision Airy. In 1994, Chrysler introduced the Eagle Vision Airy concept, a curious experiment that blended high-concept aerodynamics with mid-sized sedan sensibility in a package that was sleek, strange, and ultimately short-lived. Designed as a design-forward evolution of the Eagle Vision sedan, the Airy, pronounced airy, was meant to show what the future of the Eagle brand could look like. But instead of offering a bold new direction, it ended up hovering in a design purgatory, too tame to be exciting, too weird to be taken seriously. The Airy was based on the same cab-forward LH platform that underpinned the production Eagle Vision, but it featured a dramatically more aerodynamic silhouette. It had an ultra-sloped windshield, a smoothed-out nose without a traditional grille, and covered rear wheels for enhanced airflow. The goal was to optimize drag reduction while projecting a clean, futuristic image, a vehicle that could, at least in theory, point the way to 21st century American design. The name Airy was intended to evoke the lofty perch of an eagle, a metaphor for visionary design and elevation above the mundane. Inside, the Visionary was decked out with a tech-savvy cockpit that included an early iteration of a voice-controlled infotainment system, a digital gauge cluster, and an aircraft-inspired yoke-style steering wheel. It felt more like a prototype for a spaceship than a family car. Yet despite these flourishes, the Airy lacked performance credentials or even a powertrain worthy of its futuristic styling. Underneath the sleek skin was a standard V6 engine, borrowed from the production Vision capable but uninspiring. The Eagle Vision Airy remained a one-off concept, never seriously considered for production. Like much of the Eagle brand, it existed on the margins full of promise, but starved of real support. By the time Chrysler pulled the plug on Eagle in 1998, the Airy had already faded into obscurity. A sleek ghost of what could have been. Number 29. 1999 Plymouth Howler. In 1999, Plymouth gave the world one last primal scream before its demise with the introduction of the Howler concept, a wild evolution of the Prowler that finally gave enthusiasts what they'd been asking for. Where the production Prowler had been criticized for being all style and no muscle, the Howler aimed to correct that by stuffing a V8 engine under its elongated hood and pairing it with a manual transmission. It was the hot rod Chrysler should have built from the beginning. The Howler retained the unmistakable retro-futuristic design language of the Prowler, but added new functionality and aggression. It featured a redesigned rear end with an integrated tailgate and actual cargo space, turning the two-seat Roadster into a more practical and versatile vehicle. The most important change, however, was mechanical. Under the hood was a 4.7-liter V8 engine mated to a 5-speed manual gearbox, sending power to the rear wheels. This transformed the Howler into a proper driver's machine, capable of the performance its predecessor only hinted at. Inside, the cabin was dressed in leather, brushed aluminum, and featured a more refined design than the Prowler's plastic-heavy interior. Custom dials, racing-inspired pedals, and a stubby shifter all underscored its enthusiast-focused intent. The Howler wasn't just a design exercise, it was a rolling statement of what Plymouth could be when given the freedom to experiment. But the timing was all wrong. By the time the Howler debuted, Chrysler had already made the decision to phase out the Plymouth brand by the end of 2001. With no viable future and no brand to carry it, the Howler remained a one-off concept, never seeing production. It stands today as Plymouth's swan song, a loud, bold, and unapologetically brash creation that proved the brand still had fire, if only briefly. Number 28. 1999 Plymouth Pronto Cruiser. The 1999 Plymouth Pronto Cruiser was a quirky, retro-style concept that served as a critical evolutionary step toward what would later become one of Chrysler's most polarizing production vehicles, the PT Cruiser. Unveiled at the Geneva Motor Show, the Pronto Cruiser combined old-school American design cues with compact packaging, aiming to recapture the youthful spirit of the Plymouth brand. It was a rolling blend of nostalgia and modern urban practicality that sparked immediate buzz. The Pronto Cruiser drew clear inspiration from late 1930s sedans, sporting a tall roofline, rounded fenders, and a bold vertical grille. Unlike its earlier sibling, the Pronto, this version traded fiberglass panels for stamped metal and featured a more production-friendly design. It sat on a front-wheel drive platform derived from the Dodge Neon and was powered by a 1.6-liter inline-4 engine paired to a 5-speed manual transmission. Though modest in performance, the emphasis here was on personality and clever packaging, not horsepower. Inside, the cabin was refreshingly simple and airy, with body-colored metal panels, exposed screws, and retro-flavored gauges. The interior design captured a utilitarian charm that stood out in a market saturated with plastic-heavy interiors. It was also surprisingly spacious for a compact car, thanks to its tall, squared-off profile. Despite the strong reaction and apparent readiness for production, the Pronto Cruiser never wore a Plymouth badge on a showroom floor. By the early 2000s, Plymouth was on life support, and Chrysler made the decision to launch the final version renamed the PT Cruiser under the Chrysler brand instead. As a result, the Pronto Cruiser became a transitional ghost, a bridge between two brands, never sold but never truly forgotten. It marks one of the last creative sparks from a brand that once helped define American automotive identity. Number 27. 1998 Plymouth Pronto Spyder. The 1998 Plymouth Pronto Spyder was a bold and unexpected move from a brand known more for minivans than mid-engine sports cars. Built as a showcase of lightweight construction and pure driving fun, the Pronto Spyder stunned attendees at the Chicago Auto Show with its curvaceous styling and exotic layout. It was unlike anything Plymouth or any Chrysler division had shown in decades. Designed from the ground up as a mid-engine, two-seat roadster, the Pronto Spyder was crafted using advanced materials, including composite body panels and an aluminum frame to keep weight down. Power came from a 1.6-liter turbocharged inline-4 engine mated to a 5-speed manual transmission, delivering the power to the rear wheels, something that felt almost foreign to late 1990s Chrysler offerings. It promised a spirited driving experience, combining low curb weight with a balanced chassis and aggressive handling characteristics. Visually, the Pronto Spyder was playful and eye-catching. It featured smooth, rounded lines, large circular headlamps, and a chopped windshield that gave it the stance of a beach-bound speedster. The two-tone color scheme, silver with vibrant red accents, further emphasized its sporty attitude. Inside, the minimalist cockpit had body-colored elements, racing-style bucket seats, and an exposed shifter, all aimed at delivering an engaging and visceral connection with the driver. But despite its appeal and strong critical reception, the Pronto Spyder was never greenlit for production. By 1998, Plymouth was already on the chopping block, and Chrysler wasn't willing to invest in a niche roadster for a dying brand. The Pronto Spyder became a one-off, a tantalizing what-if that showed Plymouth still had creative fire left in its bones. Today, it's remembered as one of the most exciting and daring concept cars Plymouth ever built, but one that came far too late to change its fate. Number 26. 1994 Plymouth Expresso. The 1994 Plymouth Expresso was a bubbly, youth-oriented concept car that tried to breathe new life into a brand rapidly losing its identity. Designed as a compact urban commuter, the Expresso prioritized fun, practicality, and bold styling over raw performance or traditional design cues. It was Chrysler's attempt to tap into the emerging Generation X mindset, one that demanded individuality, color, and versatility in a world increasingly filled with cookie-cutter sedans. The Expresso rode on a short wheelbase and featured a rounded, toy-like body with oversized headlamps, chunky bumpers, and translucent plastic panels integrated into the doors and roof. These elements weren't just cosmetic, they let natural light flood into the cabin, giving the small car a more open, airy feel. Even the wheels and mirrors carried playful, geometric shapes, as if the car were plucked straight from a designer's sketchbook. Underneath, the Expresso used a front-wheel drive layout, likely derived from Chrysler's compact car platform of the time, and was powered by a small inline-4 engine. While Chrysler never released full mechanical specs, the emphasis was clearly on affordability and personality, not speed or luxury. Inside, the cabin continued the theme of modularity and fun. Removable seats, bold-colored fabrics, and interchangeable interior panels gave it a Lego-like quality that encouraged user customization. The concept made the auto show rounds and even inspired a short-lived Expresso trim level across several Chrysler vehicles in the mid to late 1990s. But the original Expresso car itself never made it past the prototype stage. As Plymouth edged closer to extinction, this cheeky concept faded from public memory. Still, the 1994 Plymouth Expresso remains a fascinating attempt to reimagine the compact car, not just as transportation, but as a creative extension of its driver's personality. Number 25. 1969 Plymouth Duster First. In 1969, before the world knew the production Duster, Plymouth unveiled a radical prototype simply called the Duster. First, a wild, wind-cheating concept that looked more like a spaceship than a muscle car. Created to explore the limits of aerodynamics and lightweight design, the Duster First had little in common with the production model that would debut 1 year later. This was not a modified Valiant coupe, it was a ground-up design exercise meant to push styling, engineering, and efficiency into uncharted territory. Constructed from fiberglass over a tubular steel frame, the Duster First weighed a scant 1,300 pounds. making it featherlight even by compact standards. Its slippery teardrop shape was honed for minimal drag, with a raked windshield, integrated wheel covers, and a tapering rear end that cut the air like a blade. The rear wheels were partially enclosed, the headlights were hidden, and the entire silhouette looked more like something from a science fiction pulp magazine than a Chrysler showroom. Inside, the cabin was a study in minimalism. The Duster first featured two bucket seats, a wraparound dash with aircraft-style gauges, and a Spartan layout that put function first. There were few creature comforts. This was a test bed, not a grand tour. Power was rumored to come from a rear-mounted air-cooled engine, possibly a two-cylinder borrowed from the Simca or another Chrysler European subsidiary. Ultimately, the Duster I remained just that, a one-off design fantasy. But its name would live on, repurposed for the more conventional A-body Plymouth Duster that arrived in 1970. Though the two shared nothing mechanically or stylistically, the Duster first gave us a fascinating glimpse into the kind of experimentation Plymouth was still willing to pursue during the golden era of Detroit innovation. Today, it stands as a lost vision of what the future could have looked like: sleek, strange, and far ahead of its time. Number 24. 1960 Plymouth XNR. The 1960 Plymouth XNR was a bold and striking concept that stood out as one of the most daring experiments from Chrysler's design studios during the dawn of the jet age. Created under the watchful eye of legendary designer Virgil Exner and built by Carrozzeria Ghia in Italy, the XNR was Plymouth's audacious answer to America's growing fascination with sleek European sports cars like the Corvette and Jaguar. Its asymmetrical body design was unlike anything seen on American roads, with one side boasting a dramatic tail fin and the other a smooth, flowing curve, an intentional statement of innovation and flair. Built on a Plymouth Valiant chassis, the XNR measured just under 16 feet long and featured a lightweight fiberglass body that helped keep its weight manageable. Power came from Plymouth's robust 170 cubic inch slant 6 engine, which produced a modest but reliable output around 150 horsepower. Despite its modest powertrain, the XNR could reportedly reach speeds exceeding 150 miles per hour in testing, thanks to its aerodynamic shape and light weight. Inside, the cockpit featured luxurious touches such as leather upholstery, a polished aluminum dash, and a wraparound windshield that enhanced visibility and style. The car was designed as a two-seat roadster with a removable hardtop and a unique off-center hood scoop that matched the body's asymmetry. The XNR toured international auto shows, drawing attention for its fearless design and European craftsmanship, captivating audiences from New York to Turin. Despite the excitement and potential, the Plymouth XNR was never intended for production and ultimately remained a one-off concept. Its radical styling was too extreme for the mainstream American market, and Plymouth's conservative sales approach at the time meant such a car was unlikely to be greenlit. Today, the 1960 Plymouth XNR stands as a fascinating relic of a time when American automakers flirted with boldness and artistry, creating cars that blurred the line between automotive and art. Number 23. 1956 Plymouth Plainsman. The 1956 Plymouth Plainsman was a unique concept station wagon that combined bold Western-themed aesthetics with innovative design elements, showcasing Plymouth's willingness to explore new territories both stylistically and functionally. Crafted by the esteemed Italian coach builder Ghia, the Plainsman was a two-door, V-powered idea car that blended traditional American wagon utility with flamboyant flair, resulting in a vehicle that was part practical hauler, part rolling work of art. Painted in a warm Palomino beige and accented with gold Texas Longhorn emblems on the fenders, the Plainsman embraced a distinctly Americana theme, evoking the spirit of the open range and frontier toughness. One of the most striking features of the Plainsman was its innovative cantilevered, split-level roof, which featured a ventilated upper section designed to improve cabin airflow, a forward-thinking idea long before climate control systems became standard. The roofline's split design also contributed to the wagon's unique silhouette, setting it apart from the more conventional station wagons of the era. Further showcasing Plymouth's eye for detail and craftsmanship, the Plainsman's interior featured plush upholstery crafted from real cowhide, reinforcing its Western motif while providing a rugged, tactile luxury not often found in family vehicles. Underneath its stylish exterior, the Plainsman was powered by a robust V8 engine, ensuring it had the muscle to match its tough, adventurous image. It also sported a hidden spare tire cleverly integrated into the front fender, a design move that maximized cargo space while maintaining clean body lines. The Plainsman was never intended for mass production. Rather, it served as a design study that previewed several styling and functional ideas later seen in late 1950s production wagons. Though the 1956 Plymouth Plainsman never reached the showroom floor, it remains a fascinating snapshot of a period when automakers like Plymouth dared to blend practicality with bold, thematic storytelling through design. Its adventurous spirit and unique styling continue to captivate collectors and enthusiasts, fascinated by the imaginative paths automakers once explored. Number 22. 1954 Plymouth Belmont. The 1954 Plymouth Belmont was one of Chrysler Corporation's earliest experiments in lightweight fiberglass-bodied sports cars, representing a bold foray into a segment dominated by European and American competitors such as the Corvette and the Thunderbird. Built on a Dodge chassis, the Belmont was powered by a formidable 241 cubic inch Hemi V8 engine, showcasing Plymouth's serious intent to combine performance with cutting-edge design. With its sleek and low-slung profile, the Belmont was a study in aerodynamic elegance, featuring smooth, flowing lines and a minimalist two-seat layout that projected speed even at a standstill. The body was crafted from fiberglass, one of the first uses of this lightweight material by Chrysler, allowing for a reduction in overall weight and increased performance potential. Painted initially in a striking metallic aqua and later a deep red, the Belmont's aesthetic was as much about capturing attention as it was about function. Its design embraced a blend of American muscle and European sports car sophistication, with a long hood, short rear deck, and subtle tail fins that hinted at the jet-age optimism of the era. Inside, the cockpit was minimalist but driver-focused, featuring bucket seats and a straightforward dash layout that emphasized functionality over luxury. Though the Belmont generated excitement among the automotive press and public alike, Plymouth never intended it for mass production. Instead, the Belmont served as a show car and design testbed, exploring the viability of fiberglass construction and high-performance V8 power in a compact sports car package. Ultimately, the 1954 Plymouth Belmont remained a one-off concept, but its legacy was significant. It helped pave the way for future developments in lightweight materials and performance-oriented American sports cars. Today, the Belmont is remembered as a daring experiment that captured the spirit of innovation and the pursuit of speed during a transformative period in automotive history. Number 21. 2008 Dodge ZEO. In 2008, Dodge shocked the automotive world with the unveiling of the ZEO, a futuristic electric sport wagon concept that aimed to redefine performance and sustainability under one aggressive roof. Standing for zero-emissions operations, the ZEO represented Dodge's vision of an electrified future without sacrificing the muscle car attitude that defined the brand for decades. This 2+2 coupe combined environmental responsibility with striking design and impressive performance, signaling that electric vehicles could be thrilling as well as clean. Built on a lightweight aluminum frame and featuring a carbon fiber body, the ZEO was a study in advanced materials that reduced weight while enhancing strength. Power came from a rear-mounted 200-kilowatt electric motor producing approximately 268 horsepower, propelling the ZEO to swift acceleration and a claimed 0 to 60 miles per hour time under 6 seconds. Its lithium-ion battery pack promised a respectable range of about 250 miles on a single charge, making it one of the more practical electric concepts of its time. Design-wise, the ZEO was a head-turner with its bright orange paint, scissor doors, and sleek, aerodynamic silhouette that merged coupe sportiness with the practicality of a wagon. The canopy-style windshield and roof blended seamlessly into one piece, offering panoramic visibility and a futuristic vibe. Inside, the cabin was minimalistic yet tech-forward, with digital instrumentation, eco-conscious materials, and driver-focused controls that emphasized efficiency and engagement. Despite its promise and bold statement, the ZEO remained a concept as Dodge was grappling with corporate challenges during Chrysler's 2008 financial crisis and subsequent bankruptcy. The ZEO's radical approach and electric drivetrain were ahead of their time, but the concept never advanced toward production. Today, the 2008 Dodge ZEO stands as a visionary glimpse into what muscle car electrification might have looked like had the market and the brand's fortunes aligned earlier. Number 20. 2007 Dodge Demon. In 2007, Dodge introduced the Demon, a compact rear-wheel drive roadster concept that promised to inject raw, affordable fun back into the brand's lineup. Positioned as a smaller, more attainable sibling to the fearsome Dodge Viper, the Demon was designed to compete with the likes of the Mazda MX-5 Miata and Pontiac Solstice, appealing to enthusiasts craving an affordable yet aggressive two-seat sports car. Sporting aggressive Dodge styling and a purposeful stance, the Demon combined attitude and practicality in a way that Chrysler had largely abandoned during that era. Underneath its sleek, muscular body, the Demon was powered by a naturally aspirated 2.4-liter inline-4 engine, delivering 172 horsepower. Paired with a 6-speed manual transmission, the car promised engaging, hands-on driving dynamics with rear-wheel drive for spirited cornering and precise handling. Dodge engineers focused on keeping the weight low and balance sharp, aiming for a nimble and responsive feel on twisty roads and city streets alike. The design language was unmistakably Dodge, with bold front grille elements, wide fenders, and a low roofline that emphasized speed and aggression. Inside, the cabin was driver-centric but not overly lavish, blending sporty materials with modern ergonomics. Features such as supportive bucket seats and a compact steering wheel further reinforced the car's focus on driving enjoyment. Despite the Demon's promising package and apparent production feasibility, Chrysler's internal priorities and market conditions prevented the model from reaching showrooms. The focus remained on larger vehicles and the Viper's continued development, leaving the Demon to remain a tantalizing glimpse of what could have been. Today, the 2007 Dodge Demon concept is remembered fondly by enthusiasts as a lost opportunity for Dodge to recapture its sporty heritage in a small, affordable package. Number 19. 2006 Dodge Rampage. The 2006 Dodge Rampage was a striking and unconventional concept that blurred the lines between pickup trucks, SUVs, and minivans, creating a vehicle aimed at maximizing interior versatility and urban practicality. Unlike traditional body-on-frame pickups, the Rampage featured a unibody construction with front-wheel drive, borrowing heavily from Chrysler's minivan expertise to create a unique minivan meets pickup hybrid. This innovative design was a bold departure for Dodge, showcasing a willingness to challenge automotive conventions and explore new market niches. Measuring roughly the size of a mid-size SUV, the Rampage boasted a wide, cab-forward body with a spacious interior that emphasized passenger comfort and cargo flexibility. Rear sliding doors without B-pillars enhanced accessibility for rear passengers, while the front seats and rear bench could be folded flat using Chrysler's signature stow-and-go fold-flat seating system borrowed directly from their minivan lineup. This clever use of interior space allowed for a variety of seating and cargo configurations rarely seen in pickup trucks at the time. Under the hood, the Rampage was powered by a potent 5.7-liter Hemi V8 engine, giving it the muscle and performance expected from a Dodge while maintaining the practicality of a family hauler. The 5-foot bed featured innovative features such as a midgate that could be lowered to extend cargo space into the cabin and a slide-out loading ramp that made hauling bulky items easier and more convenient. These functional elements position the Rampage as a versatile vehicle capable of tackling urban life and weekend adventures alike. Despite its practicality and bold concept, the Dodge Rampage never made it to production, as Dodge and Chrysler's strategic focus shifted toward traditional pickups and SUVs. The Rampage remains a fascinating footnote in automotive history, highlighting Dodge's creative potential and willingness to rethink the pickup segment in the 21st century. It stands as an intriguing what-if in the evolution of versatile, lifestyle-focused vehicles. Number 18. 2001 Dodge Super 8 Hemi. The 2001 Dodge Super 8 Hemi was a bold design statement, combining retro-futuristic styling with modern engineering to create a sedan that paid homage to the glory days of American automotive design while pushing into the new millennium. Unveiled at the North American International Auto Show, the Super 8 Hemi was Chrysler's vision of a luxury sedan that merged the best of the 1950s and early 60s with contemporary technology and performance. Its exterior design was a striking blend of classic and modern elements, featuring a tall, upright cabin reminiscent of the large sedans from the 1950s, complete with exaggerated fins and a broad crosshair grille, a signature Dodge styling cue. The body sat on a massive wheelbase with 20-inch wheels, lending the car an imposing presence on the road. Rear-hinged back doors added a touch of vintage elegance and practicality, enhancing access to the rear seats in true limousine style. Under the hood, the Super 8 Hemi packed a powerful prototype 5.7-liter Hemi V8 engine, producing 350 horsepower, reflecting Dodge's commitment to performance and muscle car heritage. This powertrain promised smooth, commanding acceleration while maintaining the refined ride expected in a flagship sedan. The suspension and chassis were tuned to provide a balance of comfort and handling, marrying old-school luxury with modern driving dynamics. Inside, the cabin was equally impressive, blending retro styling cues like chrome accents and plush leather upholstery with modern amenities and advanced technology interfaces. The Super 8 Hemi was a showcase for Chrysler's ability to merge past and future, creating a vehicle that felt simultaneously nostalgic and forward-looking. Despite its striking design and advanced features, the Dodge Super 8 Hemi never progressed beyond the concept stage. Market conditions and shifting corporate priorities meant that this retro-inspired flagship remained a one-off, but its influence could be seen in later Dodge models that embraced heritage-inspired design. Today, the 2001 Super 8 Hemi stands as a testament to Chrysler's creative ambition during a period of transition and exploration. Number 17. 1999 Dodge Charger RT. The 1999 Dodge Charger RT concept was a daring reimagining of one of America's most iconic muscle car names, blending retro-inspired design cues with forward-thinking technology to capture both nostalgia and modern performance. This four-door muscle sedan concept was intended to revive the spirit of the legendary 1966 Charger while adapting it for a new generation of enthusiasts seeking power, style, and practicality. Styled with bold, aggressive lines, the Charger RT featured a classic Coke bottle profile and signature flying buttresses on the rear pillars, paying homage to the original while modernizing proportions for contemporary tastes. The full-width tail lamp echoed the 1970s Charger, adding to the car's muscular and unmistakable presence. Inside, the cabin was designed to balance luxury and sportiness, with modern amenities wrapped in materials and finishes that evoke the muscle car era. Underneath its striking exterior, the Charger RT was powered by a supercharged 4.7-liter V8 engine optimized for compressed natural gas (CNG) fuel, producing an impressive 325 horsepower. This environmentally conscious twist was revolutionary at the time, as Dodge explored ways to deliver muscle car performance with cleaner emissions. The car featured rear-wheel drive and was equipped with hidden rear doors, cleverly integrated to maintain the coupe-like profile of the car while offering the practicality of four doors. With an estimated 300-mile range using innovative CNG tanks, the Charger RT concept demonstrated Dodge's commitment to blending power, style, and environmental responsibility. However, despite the excitement it generated, the concept never made it to production in this form. The eventual 2006 Charger model drew inspiration from this design but differed significantly, opting for gasoline engines and a more conventional four-door sedan layout. Today, the 1999 Dodge Charger RT remains an intriguing what-if that hinted at a future where muscle met clean technology. Number 16. 1997 Dodge Copperhead. The 1997 Dodge Copperhead was an audacious concept car that sought to capture the essence of American muscle while offering an accessible, affordable sports car alternative to the legendary Dodge Viper. Dubbed by enthusiasts as the affordable Viper, the Copperhead was designed to provide nimble handling and sleek styling in a lightweight package, emphasizing driver engagement over raw horsepower. It embodied Dodge's desire to broaden its sports car appeal and offer something that was fun, agile, and attainable for a wider range of buyers. Under the hood, the Copperhead was powered by a naturally aspirated 2.7-liter V6 engine that produced around 220 horsepower, delivering spirited performance without overwhelming novice drivers. The car's rear-wheel drive layout, combined with a short wheelbase and well-tuned suspension, promised sharp handling and an exhilarating driving experience. Its compact dimensions and low weight made the Copperhead feel more like a European roadster, standing apart from Dodge's traditional muscle car ethos. Stylistically, the Copperhead was bold and distinctive, with smooth, flowing lines that contrasted the angular aggression of the Viper. Its bright orange paint and minimalist, aerodynamic shape were eye-catching yet functional, aiming to reduce drag while emphasizing a modern, sleek profile. The interior was simple but focused on the driver, featuring supportive bucket seats, a sporty steering wheel, and straightforward controls. Unveiled at the 1997 Detroit Auto Show, the Copperhead generated significant buzz and was praised for its potential to fill a niche in Dodge's lineup. Despite initial enthusiasm and the concept's production feasibility, the Copperhead never reached the showroom, sidelined by shifting corporate strategies and economic considerations. Today, the 1997 Dodge Copperhead remains a fascinating example of what could have been an affordable, nimble sports car carrying the Dodge name into a new era of performance. Number 15. 1984 Dodge M4S Turbo Interceptor. The 1984 Dodge M4S Turbo Interceptor was a groundbreaking prototype sports coupe and technology demonstrator that pushed the boundaries of what American automakers could achieve in terms of performance and design during the early 1980s. Developed in close collaboration with aerospace and racing engineers, the M4S combined cutting-edge turbocharged power with aerodynamic efficiency, creating a machine that looked like it belonged on the set of a futuristic sci-fi film. Powered by a twin-turbocharged 2.2-liter four-cylinder Cosworth engine, the M4S produced an astonishing 440 horsepower, enabling the car to reach top speeds approaching 195 miles per hour. Its sleek, low-slung carbon fiber and fiberglass body featured smooth curves and integrated aerodynamic elements, designed to reduce drag and enhance stability at high speeds. This lightweight construction was vital in allowing the M4S to achieve blistering acceleration and agile handling. The M4S gained wider fame as the Black Wraith car in the 1986 cult classic movie The Wraith, starring Charlie Sheen, cementing its status as an icon of 80s automotive design and pop culture. Despite its cinematic glory, the M4S was primarily built as a proof of concept and a pace car for the professional sports car racing series, showcasing Dodge's engineering prowess and technological innovation. Its suspension system featured adjustable shocks and innovative geometry to optimize handling, while the mid-engine layout provided excellent weight distribution. Though the M4S Turbo Interceptor was never intended for production, it demonstrated that American manufacturers could compete with European supercars in both technology and performance. The knowledge gained from the M4S influenced Dodge's approach to future performance vehicles, even if the exact model never reached the public. Today, the 1984 Dodge M4S Turbo Interceptor remains a revered symbol of 80s innovation, blending raw speed with futuristic design that still captivates enthusiasts decades later. Number 14. 1968 Dodge Charger 3rd. The 1968 Dodge Charger 3rd was an ultra-low, experimental supercar concept that pushed the limits of aerodynamic design and futuristic styling during a time when muscle cars were king. Standing at a mere 42 inches tall, the Charger 3rd was one of the lowest cars ever designed by Dodge, emphasizing a sleek, wedge-shaped body that looked as if it were slicing through the air at high speed, even while standing still. Its dramatic low profile was complemented by a canopy-style cockpit with a flip-up canopy roof that provided a seamless, bubble-like greenhouse and a unique entry experience for the driver. To access the driver's seat, the entire canopy lifted upward, offering unencumbered entry to the cockpit, while the steering wheel swung away to further ease ingress and egress, innovative features that underscored the concept's forward-thinking nature. The car's body featured hidden headlights and a camback tail design, both of which enhanced aerodynamics and added to the futuristic aesthetic. The wedge shape was carefully sculpted to minimize drag and maximize high-speed stability, making the Charger 3rd Dodge's most aerodynamic design of its era. Underneath its radical exterior, the Charger 3rd was envisioned as a two-seat supercar. Those specific powertrain details were often left ambiguous, as the car was primarily a design and engineering exercise. The project showcased Dodge's willingness to experiment with unconventional ideas and push beyond traditional muscle car boundaries. While the Charger 3rd was never intended for production, it served as an influential design study that informed future performance and aerodynamic concepts. Today, the 1968 Dodge Charger 3rd remains a fascinating glimpse into a period of automotive innovation, representing a fusion of bold aesthetics and advanced engineering. It stands as a testament to Dodge's ambition and creativity in the late 1960s, a time when the future seemed limitless and car designers dared to dream big. Number 13. 1964 Dodge Hemi Charger. The 1964 Dodge Hemi Charger concept was a bold and aggressive two-seat roadster designed to showcase Dodge's new 426 cubic inch Hemi V8 engine, an engine that would soon become legendary in the muscle car world. Built as a heavily customized version of the Dodge Polara, this concept featured a dramatically cut-down windshield and integral roll bar headrests, emphasizing both style and safety in a radical package. The low-slung, muscular stance and wide track gave the car an unmistakable presence, signaling Dodge's intentions to dominate the high-performance segment. Though the concept was originally equipped with a 383 cubic inch V8 due to the scarcity of the race-spec 426 Hemi engines, it symbolized Dodge's commitment to power and performance, setting the stage for the legendary Hemi muscle cars that followed. The Hemi Charger introduced the Charger nameplate, which would later become synonymous with Dodge's performance identity in the late 1960s and beyond. Its aggressive design, featuring wide fenders, a lowered stance, and sleek lines, foreshadowed the styling cues that would define muscle cars of the era. Inside, the car was stripped down and driver-focused, emphasizing performance over luxury, with bucket seats and a simple, functional dashboard. The Roadster configuration, with its open top, was designed to appeal to enthusiasts seeking a pure and thrilling driving experience. Although the 1964 Hemi Charger remained a one-off showpiece, it played a crucial role in Chrysler's marketing and engineering strategies, laying the groundwork for the eventual production Chargers that captured the imaginations of muscle car fans everywhere. Today, the 1964 Dodge Hemi Charger concept is remembered as a pioneering vehicle that introduced an iconic name and celebrated the raw power of the Hemi engine in a striking, purpose-built package. It remains a symbol of Dodge's early muscle car ambitions and an important chapter in American automotive history. Number 12. 1954 Dodge Fire Arrow II. The 1954 Dodge Fire Arrow II was a stunning two-seat convertible concept car that showcased Chrysler's ambition to blend American muscle with European-inspired elegance. Designed and built by the famed Italian coach builder Ghia, the Fire Arrow II featured sleek, flowing lines and a low, aerodynamic profile that stood out amid the more conservative styling typical of early 1950s American cars. Its striking metallic finish and sculpted bodywork embodied the optimism and futuristic vision of post-war automotive design. Built on a Dodge chassis, the Fire Arrow II was powered by Chrysler's potent Red Ram Hemi V8 engine, a powerhouse that underscored the concept's performance credentials. With a combination of raw power and aerodynamic finesse, the car was intended to rival European sports cars like the Corvette and Thunderbird, presenting Dodge as a serious contender in the burgeoning performance market. The convertible top was designed to be sleek and unobtrusive, maintaining the car's clean silhouette whether up or down. The Fire Arrow II was part of a series of Fire Arrow concepts developed under the direction of Chrysler's legendary designer Virgil Exner, who aimed to inject style and sophistication into the brand's lineup. While the Fire Arrow II never went into production, its design language influenced later Chrysler and Dodge models and showcased the company's willingness to experiment with bold, avant-garde ideas. It was also a testament to the strong partnership between Chrysler and Ghia, which blended American engineering with Italian artistry. Today, the 1954 Dodge Fire Arrow II is celebrated as one of the most beautiful and forward-thinking Chrysler concepts of the era. Although it remained a one-off showpiece, the Fire Arrow II's fusion of performance, style, and innovation left a lasting impression on automotive history and design. Number 11. 2009 Chrysler 200C EV. The 2009 Chrysler 200C EV was a forward-looking concept that showcased Chrysler's vision for electrification and the future of mid-size sedans. Unveiled just before Chrysler's bankruptcy crisis, the 200C EV combined sleek, modern styling with advanced plug-in hybrid technology, representing a bold statement amid a rapidly changing automotive landscape. Its design was clean and aerodynamic, featuring smooth lines, a distinctive grille, and an interior focused on high-tech functionality and comfort. At the heart of the 200C EV was a sophisticated powertrain consisting of a lithium-ion battery pack capable of delivering approximately 40 miles of pure electric driving range, paired with a gasoline engine serving as a range extender. This setup allowed the vehicle to operate silently and emissions-free in urban environments while maintaining the flexibility for longer trips, blending practicality with environmental responsibility. The electric motor produced smooth and responsive acceleration, providing an engaging driving experience despite the eco-friendly powertrain. Inside, the 200C EV featured a futuristic infotainment system that integrated touchscreens, navigation, and vehicle controls, emphasizing driver connectivity and ease of use. The cabin's materials and layout combined modern luxury with a focus on sustainability, reflecting the green ethos of the vehicle. Space and comfort were prioritized to appeal to families and commuters looking for an efficient yet stylish alternative to traditional gas-powered sedans. Although the Chrysler 200C EV never reached production, its influence was evident in the subsequent generation of Chrysler 200 models and Chrysler's gradual shift toward electrified vehicles. The concept underscored Chrysler's technical capabilities and willingness to embrace new propulsion technologies at a critical moment in the company's history. Today, the 2009 Chrysler 200C EV stands as a notable early attempt by a major American automaker to marry performance, style, and sustainability in a mainstream sedan package. Number 10. 2005 Chrysler Firepower. The 2005 Chrysler Firepower was a bold and refined grand touring coupe concept that sought to blend the raw American muscle of the Dodge Viper with an upscale, sophisticated design ethos reminiscent of European luxury sports cars. Built on the Viper's platform and powered by a robust 425 horsepower 6.1-liter Hemi V8 engine, the Firepower promised thrilling performance with a dash of elegance and comfort not traditionally associated with American muscle cars. It aimed to elevate Chrysler's image by introducing a luxury Viper that could compete with prestigious Marquess while maintaining Dodge's aggressive performance pedigree. Styling-wise, the Firepower exuded a muscular yet polished presence, featuring sleek aerodynamic lines, a long hood, and a broad stance that hinted at the car's potent capabilities. The design incorporated subtle Aston Martin-like influences, with a grille and headlight arrangement that suggested sophistication alongside aggression. Inside, the Firepower's cabin was expected to offer high-quality materials, supportive seats, and modern amenities aimed at comfort during high-speed cruising, as well as spirited driving. Performance was at the core of the Firepower's identity, with the Hemi V8 delivering rapid acceleration and a throaty exhaust note emblematic of American muscle. The car's chassis and suspension were tuned for a balanced blend of agility and stability, enabling confident handling on both twisty roads and highways. Despite its impressive capabilities and production-ready design, the Firepower was ultimately shelved due to shifting corporate priorities and the complexities of launching a new high-end performance coupe within the Chrysler lineup. Today, the 2005 Chrysler Firepower remains a tantalizing what-if in the annals of American muscle car history, a concept that showcased how Chrysler could marry performance and luxury in a unique package. Its influence is seen in later Dodge and Chrysler efforts to balance aggressive powertrains with refined design, even if the Firepower itself never reached production. Number 8. 1998 Chrysler Kronos. The 1998 Chrysler Kronos was a grand neoclassic luxury sedan concept that sought to blend modern engineering with the timeless elegance of the 1950s and early 60s, particularly drawing inspiration from Virgil Exner's legendary 1953 d'Elegance. Built on an impressively long wheelbase, the Kronos was a full-size flagship that projected sophistication through its sweeping lines, large proportions, and restrained yet impactful styling. Its design featured a bold front grille with Chrysler's signature crosshair motif, elongated fenders, and a smoothly sculpted body that echoed the grandeur of classic American luxury cars, but with a contemporary polish. Powering the Kronos was a massive 6-liter overhead cam V10 engine that was cleverly assembled from parts of 3 V8 engines, delivering around 350 horsepower. This potent power plant underscored the vehicle's status as a high-performance luxury sedan capable of delivering effortless acceleration and refined cruising. The car's chassis and suspension were designed to provide a supple ride that balanced comfort with confident handling, befitting a luxury flagship meant to impress both owners and passengers. Inside, the Chrysler Kronos was equally impressive, featuring a spacious cabin with plush leather upholstery, rich wood trim, and advanced technology for its time, including digital displays and climate controls. The attention to detail inside echoed the vehicle's exterior grandeur, creating an environment of understated opulence and modern convenience. Though the Kronos was never intended for production, it served as a bold statement of Chrysler's heritage and future direction, reminding observers of the brand's rich design legacy while hinting at modern luxury trends. Today, the 1998 Chrysler Kronos is remembered as one of the company's most elegant and ambitious concept cars, a striking fusion of classic American luxury with contemporary power and sophistication. It remains a beloved one-off that symbolized Chrysler's aspiration to reclaim its place among the world's top luxury automakers. Number 7. 1997 Chrysler Phaeton. The 1997 Chrysler Phaeton was an opulent and striking dual-cowl four-door convertible sedan concept that paid homage to the Grand Parade Phaetons of the 1930s while incorporating modern luxury and engineering advancements. Drawing clear inspiration from Chrysler's legendary 1940 Newport Parade Phaeton, the Phaeton sought to merge classic American elegance with contemporary technology, resulting in a vehicle that was both nostalgic and forward-looking. Its design featured two distinct windshields, one for the front passengers and one for the rear, separated by a stylish cowl, a hallmark of traditional Phaeton styling that added a dramatic flair to the car's silhouette. Powering the Phaeton was a potent 5.4-liter V12 engine, providing smooth and effortless performance befitting a flagship luxury vehicle. The engine's refined power delivery complemented the car's stately presence and assured ride quality, aiming to offer both comfort and prestige to occupants. The Phaeton also featured a power retractable hardtop, allowing the car to transform seamlessly from a covered sedan to an open-air touring car, enhancing its versatility and appeal. Inside, the Phaeton's cabin was crafted with exquisite attention to detail, showcasing sumptuous materials such as rich leather, polished wood, and gleaming chrome accents. The interior space was designed for ultimate passenger comfort, with spacious seating and advanced amenities that blended classic luxury with modern convenience. The concept exemplified Chrysler's ability to combine heritage styling cues with cutting-edge automotive technology in a single elegant package. Though the 1997 Chrysler Phaeton never entered production, it remains an impressive and memorable concept that highlighted Chrysler's design prowess and respect for its own history. The Phaeton stands as a symbol of the brand's aspiration to revive classic American luxury and craft vehicles that deliver both style and substance. Number 6. 1995 Chrysler Atlantic. The 1995 Chrysler Atlantic was a stunning concept car that paid tribute to the Art Deco era of the 1930s while boldly envisioning a modern American grand tourer. Inspired most directly by the legendary 1937 Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, Chrysler's design team, led by Tom Gale, fused nostalgia with futuristic engineering in a way that captivated audiences and critics alike. Its long, flowing fenders, dramatic curves, and elegant fastback roofline made the Atlantic look like a rolling sculpture, a blend of past elegance and present innovation. Under the hood was a truly unique engineering feat. Chrysler built a straight-eight engine by welding together two four-cylinder neon engines on a shared crankcase, resulting in a 4-liter inline-eight that produced about 300 horsepower. Mated to a 4-speed automatic transmission, the Atlantic promised smooth, torquey performance that suited its luxurious and sporty aspirations. Its rear-wheel drive layout, double wishbone suspension, and low-slung stance hinted at capable handling, even though it was never driven in anger. Inside, the Atlantic's cabin mirrored its exterior's flowing form, with an elegantly curved dashboard, hand-stitched leather seats, and Art Deco-inspired gauges set in polished aluminum bezels. Everything about the interior was meant to reflect a bygone era of automotive grandeur without sacrificing modern comfort. The craftsmanship and attention to detail stood as a testament to Chrysler's design ambition during the mid-90s. Although the 1995 Chrysler Atlantic never went into production, it remains one of the most celebrated concept cars of its decade. It demonstrated that Chrysler could channel the spirit of classic European design and deliver a world-class show car that captured the imagination of enthusiasts everywhere. The Atlantic endures as a timeless symbol of what American automotive elegance could have become. Number 5. 1993 Chrysler Thunderbolt. The 1993 Chrysler Thunderbolt was a dramatic and forward-thinking concept car that sought to blend heritage-inspired styling with cutting-edge technology. Named after the legendary 1941 Chrysler Thunderbolt, a streamlined Art Deco concept of its own time, this modern incarnation drew from that legacy while charting a bold new course for Chrysler's future. With sleek sculpted lines and a teardrop-shaped profile, the Thunderbolt looked more like a futuristic Grand Tourer than anything available on the market during the early 1990s. One of the most innovative features of the Thunderbolt was its fully retractable hardtop, which seamlessly folded beneath the rear deck, an engineering marvel for its time. Chrysler also equipped the concept with an early form of keyless entry and ignition, operated by a credit card-sized remote system years ahead of mainstream adoption. The exterior featured a smooth, flush surface with hidden headlights and a minimalist grille, giving it a clean and wind-cheating aesthetic. Under the hood was a powerful 5.4-liter V8 engine borrowed from Chrysler's production lineup, offering ample thrust to match the car's dramatic looks. While exact performance figures were never formally published, the Thunderbolt was built more for style and innovation than track times. The suspension was designed to deliver a comfortable yet composed ride, aligning with the grand touring nature of the concept. The interior of the Thunderbolt showcased futuristic elements, including a dashboard that incorporated a digital touchscreen display, an almost unheard-of feature in 1993. The cabin layout was minimalist and elegant, emphasizing the car's tech-forward identity. Although the Chrysler Thunderbolt never made it to production, it remains a standout example of how concept cars can stretch the boundaries of imagination. It was a clear signal that Chrysler was willing to experiment and dream big, even if the real-world market wasn't quite ready. Number 4. 1963 Chrysler Turbine Car. The 1963 Chrysler Turbine Car stands as one of the most radical and ambitious experiments in American automotive history. Unlike traditional piston-powered cars, the turbine car was powered by a gas turbine engine, a jet engine adapted for the road. Chrysler had been researching turbine technology since the early 1950s, but the turbine car marked the company's most comprehensive real-world trial. Designed by Elwood Engel, the turbine car featured a sleek, bronze-colored body with flowing lines, a futuristic grille, and afterburner-like taillights that visually reinforced its jet-powered identity. The design was heavily influenced by Ghia, Chrysler's Italian design partner, giving it a distinct European flair. Only 55 examples were built, with 50 cars being loaned to members of the public for testing during a 2-year trial program. The engine itself, known as the A831, could run on a wide variety of fuels: kerosene, diesel, unleaded gasoline, and even tequila. It produced around 130 horsepower and delivered torque with smooth, effortless acceleration. However, the turbine engine also had drawbacks. It was noisy, had sluggish throttle response, and delivered poor fuel economy. Inside, the turbine car featured a plush interior with metallic bronze upholstery and a dashboard filled with aircraft-inspired gauges. It was luxurious, comfortable, and felt every bit the space-age machine Chrysler wanted it to be. Despite generating enormous public interest, Chrysler ultimately scrapped the project, citing high production costs, emissions concerns, and lack of government support. By 1966, all but 9 of the turbine cars were destroyed. Yet the 1963 Chrysler turbine car remains a symbol of daring innovation, a moment when one of Detroit's Big Three truly tried to reinvent the automobile. It remains a testament to Chrysler's willingness to dream boldly in the face of convention. Number 3. 1961 Chrysler Turboflight. The 1961 Chrysler Turboflight was more spaceship than car, a dazzling piece of rolling futurism that embodied the jet-age imagination of post-war America. Conceived as a turbine-powered dream car, the Turboflight was never meant for the road, but instead served as a powerful symbol of Chrysler's technological ambitions. Its dramatic wedge-shaped body, built in collaboration with the famed Italian coach builder Ghia, looked as if it had been dropped straight from a science fiction comic. The most striking feature of the Turboflight was its massive fighter jet-style canopy. This transparent roof section raised automatically when the doors opened, allowing easier access to the cabin. The cockpit was filled with aircraft-inspired controls and digital instrumentation, a far cry from the conventional dashboards of the early 1960s. The steering wheel resembled a yoke, and the seats were designed to cradle the occupants like jet pilots. Underneath its futuristic shell, the Turboflight was intended to run on Chrysler's second-generation turbine engine, though it was likely never installed in a functioning prototype. Nonetheless, the car was engineered around the principles of aerodynamics and heat management, complete with a movable rear air brake designed to increase downforce at high speeds. Its long, pointed nose and tail fins seem more suited to a wind tunnel than a city street. Though the Turboflight never reached production and wasn't even fully operational, it captured the public's imagination and stood as a dramatic statement of Chrysler's vision for the future. It was unveiled at major auto shows as a centerpiece of the company's turbine-powered dreams. Today, the Turboflight remains a legendary ghost of the road not taken, a time capsule of when automakers dared to dream as boldly as they built. It was not just a car, but a prophecy. Number 2. 1956 Chrysler Norseman. The 1956 Chrysler Norseman remains one of the most mythic and tragic lost concept cars in automotive history. Commissioned by Chrysler and designed by Virgil Exner at the height of his influence, the Norseman was intended to be a statement of futuristic elegance and aerodynamic engineering. The bodywork was hand-built by Ghia of Italy, and the entire process reportedly took over a year to complete. The most remarkable feature of the Norseman was its cantilevered roof, an advanced structural achievement for the time. This unique roofline was supported only at the rear with no A-pillars, allowing for an uninterrupted panoramic windshield and a sleek, clean profile. The glass roof was tinted, power-operated, and flush-mounted, giving the Norseman a space-age appearance that pushed the envelope of automotive design. Inside, the cabin was as forward-thinking as the exterior. Aircraft-inspired bucket seats, minimalist instrumentation, and asymmetrical dash design all reflected Chrysler's vision for the future. Power windows, hidden headlights, and recessed door handles completed the ultra-modern package. It was a show car built to turn heads and influence design direction not just for Chrysler, but for the industry as a whole. Tragically, the Norseman never made it to its planned debut at the 1957 auto show circuit. The only existing example was being transported aboard the Italian ocean liner SS Andrea Doria when the ship collided with another vessel off the coast of Nantucket. The Andrea Doria sank, and the Norseman, sealed in a wooden crate, was lost to the sea. To this day, no other Norseman was ever built. It remains a tantalizing what-if in Chrysler's history, a design marvel we know only through photos, sketches, and dreams submerged beneath the Atlantic. Number 1. 1951 Chrysler K310. The 1951 Chrysler K310 was not just a concept, it was a rolling declaration that Chrysler could stand shoulder to shoulder with the world's most prestigious automakers. Designed by Virgil Exner during his early days with Chrysler, the K310 was one of the first expressions of the forward-look design language that would soon redefine the brand's image. Named after the project's internal code and the theoretical engine displacement, the K310 represented a dramatic departure from Chrysler's typically conservative styling. Built by the renowned Italian coach builder Ghia, the K310's low-slung body, fastback profile, and aggressive lines gave it the stance of a European Grand Tourer rather than a traditional American sedan. The pronounced fender flares and split rear window gave it a futuristic flair, while the elegant proportions suggested speed, elegance, and ambition. Though it featured no wild gimmicks or space-age gadgets, the K310 stood out for its restrained sophistication. The clean lines, lack of chrome excess, and tightly sculpted bodywork made it appear decades ahead of its time. Inside, the interior was wrapped in leather, featuring a driver-focused cockpit and minimalist instrumentation, traits more common in Italian exotics than Detroit iron. The K310 rode on a shortened Chrysler chassis and was fully functional, proving that radical design didn't have to come at the expense of engineering integrity. It was never intended for mass production, but its influence would echo throughout Chrysler's design studios for years. It was followed closely by the Chrysler C200 and eventually paved the way for Chrysler's celebrated Ghia-built Idea cars. Though only one K310 was ever built, it served its purpose brilliantly. To show the world that Chrysler was no longer just an American automaker, it was a design force to be reckoned with.